hot out there, lurkers. It's hot out there, lurkers. Very. It's a hot day to be a lurker. Hey, John. How goes it? What's the project? What step of the process are you working on today? Brennan, you were about to clear coat? Why don't you wait till tonight when you're dicking around doing something else? Build coat. Fun. Ooh, look at all that perspiration. Hot. AJ, I don't want to hear that hot shit there. Hot here. Sorry, it's 82. I'm sorry you get your one day out of the year that it's 90. Have you been playing around with the uh you know what paint in the heat? Had any issues? Yeah, if I were you, Brendan, I would wait to clear coat when you're dicking around the shop tonight. The only problem with nighttime is you have lights on and the bugs are more attractive to your lights at night than they are during the day. 82, it's 80. Yeah, yeah. Our lows are what most people's highs are. Haven't been painting. Oh, you've been pouring. I saw. I saw. Oh yeah, I saw it on the gram. Pulled up the gram and AJ's tube jig heads. I was like, oh, let me go like that, and then like Instagram like auto loaded the page again and like took it away. And that happens a lot, and it's really annoying. To where you pull up Instagram and then there's something that is of interest, and then it like refreshes and like shows you something else. Any reason? Yeah, there's lots of reasons. Uh, because you want your clear to cure as slowly as possible. You get better, get better adhesion, you get better finish, you get ever better everything. So the slower you can make it dry, not slow as in you want it to take 15 hours. You want to maximize its flash times and its dry times and all that kind of stuff per the recommendations. So if it's, flashing off 10 minutes, you want everything to get to that maximum to where it's it's everything is slower and you'll get better finishes. Uh, but it's the same thing with paint. Same thing with clear coat. If it's a million degrees and that shit's flashing off quick, you're gonna run into hellacious issues. You're not gonna run into real issues. Your just finishes aren't gonna be as good as they could be. Um, you'll limit the amount of coats you'll be able to put. Like if it's cooler at night, you could lay down more than two coats. If it's hot as shit, if you try to lay down a third coat of clear, it's gonna look like hammered dog shit. You got a lot to learn there, young Brendan. Yeah, because you got to give it time. I mean, it's still bonding, days, weeks after it's hard. It's still bonding. Uh, but yeah, the longer you give those solvents time to jive, the better. Um, Too poor to switch. Yeah, that is an issue. It's expensive. 90s in the morning here in South Carolina. Today was overcast. It wasn't too bad. That's nice, Bob. I hear other people in the world, like Austin, Texas, is getting rain. They haven't had rain in like a long time, and they got rain, and they're feeling good. Uh, so. Brennan, almost bought your clear coat you were selling. You were selling some Tamco 9500, I think it was. Uh, almost bought that from you. Did you get rid of it? Did you get rid of that clear coat? Oh, I'm fixing to dot eyes. Waterbase likes 100-degree days. Is that true or false? I honestly cannot remember. Oh, well, I'll take it. If you can get it to me without it spilling. If you can get it to me without the feds knocking at my door asking what this hazardous material is. So true, water-based dries faster the hotter and steamier it is. Well, there you go. I don't know about spraying, but you can really get it to dry hard. I don't know that I ever felt like water-based paint dried hard at all. Messing with Big Malone, I used to do that. I remember the days of heat setting paint with a hair dryer, and that is probably uh, the worst, most wasted time I think I've ever spent in my life. I'm sitting there just going, because the problem, uh, with blow drying, I feel like, was I blow dried lots of baits that I thought were dry, dip them in KBS, turns out not dry because the finish would crack. Heat gun gets too hot, Brendan, you'll melt your baits. You gotta slow it down, bro. Haven't cut grass in 2 weeks. Told my old lady she watered the dead grass. I'm leaving. I never liked the low setting on a heat gun. It was too sketchy. It was too hot. Um, the glitter paint it has, I think Nichols had those. I think Stanley for sure did. I probably, where are those? There was quite a few companies that had the glitter heads. Yeah, it just shells over. That's what happens. I feel like when you get it too hot too fast, it like flash cures the outside, and then if you spray a little heavy, you just create a shell over the inside, and it won't dry. And then you hit it with some clear, and you get the cracklies, and you are effed. Dude, AJ, I was painting. What was I painting? I was painting some of those pop-ars for Bama Bass, and they were the ones with the chartreuse and the white scales. They were like my war shad, but like the toned down version. But for some idiotic reason, I decided that when he was asking for color samples, I painted something I shouldn't have. So I painted a color that required the bait to be wrapped in scales and multiple colors shot through the scales. Big no no. Because when he started picking colors, he was like, "Oh, this one's awesome. How about 100 of those?" Eee, uh, not a good move for me. So, so that's not good. But I did them. The problem was that as I was painting them, at some point in the process, I thought my paint was dry. Turns out it was not dry. And when I sprayed them in KBS, I got the wrinkles on like 50 of them. And it didn't show up immediately, it was gradual. It was a ticking time bomb. Uh, a time bomb. And then I sprayed them and I went to like do more. And I was like, I don't remember what I did. I think I just took lacquer thinner and put it in my gun and just hosed them down with lacquer thinner. And then just like, I don't even remember what I did. But I got to do those twice. And I got to clean them again. I had to uh, strip them, paint them. It was awful. Wrapping my baits in that mesh has been the only way I have done scales ever until one day ago. Welcome to the other side, Brendan. Welcome to the other side of the world. Jeremy, like that wake that I really am not a fan. Um, that psycho trout is what that bait was, and I'm not a huge fan of painting them. Reason being is the joints are so loosey goosey. Every which way you turn the bait, and I hang my baits and paint them. Every which way you hang the bait, the 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 joints want to touch, and most baits don't, but that one's really bad about it. And it was um, it was it's it's just frustrating to paint because you have to like tiptoe around. Because if I'm clear coating it or if I'm base coating it or something, and like you try and turn the bait and that joint hits that edge, you're smearing paint, you're smearing clear coat, then you're fixing that, and it's awesome. And elude rat joints don't line up. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like any baits that don't. I don't like any baits that do that. I try and avoid them. Those are bad. Every time I paint one, I'm like, that's the last one of those I'm doing. And then I forget, and then one shows up, I'm like, son of a bitch, these again, this problem again. Uh, Brendan figured out people on YouTube don't always know what they're talking about. No, some of them do, I guess. I don't know. I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody on the tube painting wise that I would trust. Is there anybody trustworthy, AJ? The pilot, I guess. Your mentor, your idol. Not lure painters. No, no. I'm trying to think. Uh, I'm trying to think. No, like I feel like that. I don't know. Can't think of one. Oh, so what I was gonna say was I listened to you people. I listened to you campers. And back uh and I have listened and I've brought back the juice. The juice has returned. So um some of my friends in Boston would stand in line for hours to get a lanky yeti lure. No, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. That's what I was talking to Josh about. We were uh, we were talking about we were dicking around with one of my baits, and I was like, I feel like I really didn't want to make one of these because there are other ones on the market, like plenty. So so I was trying to like figure out what my niche would be. I said, "Oh, it's easy. Are there any of these that don't look stupid as shit?" And he was like, No. I was like, "Okay, well, that helps. So I'll just go in that direction. You want a bait that doesn't look fucking dumb? There you go." Can you push toothpicks or the end of kebab screws in the joint wire to keep them from moving while painting? Uh, Guys do that with wood baits when they're like raw. You possibly could, but it'd be easier just to use something else, like a hemostat or something. You can get hemostats cheap, but hemostats have a bad habit of popping. Uh, 16 minutes in the past. Morgan, if you can see in the corner, yes, yes, it was very steamy. Not Matt yet, Jason. I mean John. I read your name is Jason Smith. He's the meteorologist down here. Used to seeing it on the news. Um, Surprised they didn't catch fire. The shads did. The shads did catch fire. Uh, Only 77 in Connecticut today. That's nice. Mike's the only one that's not getting roasted. I'm with you. Same with me, Jeremy. I'd probably like to. I've been listening to a few of the Big Bass podcasts. I feel like Ken screwed the pooch by doing back-to-back Rago shows, because the first one was really good, and then they did another Rago show immediately after that one. Wasn't as good, but I feel like it wasn't as good because the first one was fresh on my mind of how good it was. Had he put it out 2 months later or a month later when it's not fresh on my mind, it would have been better. But he didn't. And I mean a month later from now. Randy released a third YouTube channel. I saw that. It's for experts. It's guru level fishing stuff. What does that really do, though, John? I don't I don't understand. I don't understand how it works or what the benefit is of a secondary channel. Um, Advanced angler stuff so you can catch them like him. Uh, yeah, nice try, Randy. He never responded to my guy paddling down the river on a log video that I tagged him in. I'm sure Johnny told him that was what he needed to do. Johnny's the puppet master. Dude, I watched about 15 minutes of the Hackney bilge. It really doesn't look good for Zaldane. Like, it makes me respect Trait more and have less respect for Chris. Because he was like talking about like, oh, remember this, and then when it was like nut cutting time, he's like, all right, Trait, ready to ask some questions that I can't ask? Sure, you can. You know what I mean? It just to me, it doesn't look good when like your wife has to ask the real shit. Jim, I would be surprised if he could get that many subs on his other channels. Maybe he can. G-Man said it sounded like they signed something and he has to be careful what he says. Oh, I'm sure they covered their ass. If you leave, you can't talk shit. Yeah, like Trade's got a damn set. You know what I mean? Like, but I feel like the good cop, bad cop thing where Trade has to be the bad cop. it just kind of makes it kind of makes me feel a certain way, kind of slimy. Like, is that why she's there? To fall on the damn sword? Guests are good though. I am Burns. She does definitely seem comfortable with the role of the villain. Trade's annoying. She can be, but her she's not afraid to ask the questions that everybody else is afraid to ask, and I respect that. She doesn't care. Skirting the issue. I didn't know these were so popular. I guess I should have known they were popular. They were good enough for Ken Iobi to make it a 10 feet under stock color for his baits. Good enough for him, dick. I want to buy one, but I didn't realize. I thought they were plastic. And then somebody told me they were wood, and they're like $70. Saw that color on a JDM bait. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Clint, what's his name? Ken's the mole. They have unpainted models. Are they wood or are they white? It's those numbers brand. Yeah, if your company has a number in the title, you cannot be trusted. It is certain fact. Take that shit to the bank. Come on, lighter. Don't don't flake on me now. I don't know if they're any good or not, Bob. I'm guessing they're okay. I'm guessing they dive down and they wiggle. Uh, Besides that, couldn't tell you. The Beam was in here a couple days ago, and she was like, "Can you show me how to use this?" I was like, "Absolutely not." Why? Jeremy, huge mistake. Their products are a reflection of how they do business. Trash. Scum. Bob, you'll buy anything. Nothing. Well, oh man. man, oh man, look at these sexy little numbers. I might need my paper for this one. Where's my paper? I need a clean piece of paper. Parts list for my trucks. Passwords. Damn, I'm old. Yeah, that's a good one, Bob. I thought about adding more colors to it, and I was like, you know what? Stop right there. It's 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 its beauty lies within its simplicity and lack of colors. I thought about. I really, really, really wanted to add orange to it. And I was like, no, because orange would have taken away from the green theme. So it's got a lime green shoulder, and it's got a the color was red. It's got this red pearl over the top of that with a green iridescent in it. So the scales slash green, and then it's got another green on top over the dark back. So it's just like fading through colors of green, and then the bottom chartreuse. So uh, it's sexy. It's sexy. You know what it's probably deserving of? Green eyes. Uh, more muted shad colors. That's interesting. Like what? Grays? South Jersey. I feel like you're blowing smoke up my ass because I've seen that shit you buy and hold up on your streams, and that shit is not muted, bro. TK had a 70 pounder blow up on my frog, and I said the hook on my damn SLX handle just spun backward yesterday. I think I overgreased my anti-reverse bearing. You probably did. Did you oil it or did you grease it? Some red one, South Jersey. Isn't blue enough? That typically happens in the cold. You mean like a red gill mark? It would probably look good, but like I said, I didn't want to get away from the green thing. I thought about dotting. I thought about making the dot red because I wanted to add like one accent color, and I didn't. I just left it. I just left it where it was. But I've had real spin backwards in the wintertime where the grease freezes pretty much, and then it doesn't do anything. Um, yeah, just take your anti-reverse bearing out, Brendan. Soak it in lighter fluid, and then start anew. I'm with Mike. Fix your reel. SLXs are good reels. I've used a lot of them. I don't own any, but I've fished with a bunch of them with my buddy Chad. He had a bunch, and we slot fished at Gunnersville with them. They all held up. They're good. I agree with Mike. Fix the damn reel. It's not the reel shouldn't be at fault. Like you said, you were in there tinkering around with things. Corrado would not have done that. I don't know. He got in there and tinkered. This might be a bad idea. I've got two SLX and had zero problem frogging and punching. There you go. Does this match? It's white. Keniobe. Ugh, this paint is disgusting. I've never had it happen to a Corrado. I think when I had it happened to a Calcutta. Gross, dude. There's boogers in here. The only thing I grew up fishing with the Blue Garcias, like the old 5500s and shit. And the only issue I had with those was that they ate pawls like nobody's business, dude. Those things were the worst about the pawls going out. Oh, yeah. Sexy. Hello. Hello. Hello, Epic Eric. I've spoken on this before. I know the Daiwa Shimano thing is like Chevy and Ford. Every every Daiwa guy will take Daiwa to the grave and talk shit about Shimano. Uh, Hella's Daiwas weren't terrible, but my issue with Daiwas, I don't know if it's the same way now, but I opened up a couple Daiwas to work on and clean, and they were not uh, They were not jiving with me. Like I can pop a Corrado open and like dismember that thing, put it all back together, and I don't I don't have to like sit there and stare at a damn schematic sheet and try to figure out what's what. Daiwas were not so easy. Uh, so I prefer the Corrados because of ease of because I keep my shit forever. Like I don't replace reels, and I would typically buy used ones uh, when I could find them. And I got some good deals on some reels that people just needed to clean. So I like Shimano. Always have. It's probably because the first nice reel I ever owned was a Shimano Calcutta. I felt like the Daiwas were just overly busy for no reason. Like there was just like extra parts in there. But I haven't opened up a new one. That's been years. They're like a rocket ship on the inside. Still, like the Tatulas and all those other new ones are still like really complicated. Remember when Daiwa had the Twitch bar? Did y'all buy into that shit? The only reel I think I would buy now if I saw like a good deal on one or that would interest me is a like one of the 1500 Scorpions. I'm running out of juice. Oh, there's a teeny one. Only Shimano I ever thought was worth trying is the Shimano Scorpion 300 NZ. The rest, nah. What do you use then, South J? What is not me? It's the glove. Could be my smoker glove. He uses DRT, OSB, and depth rails. One of one. D100 for years. Yeah, I sold a bunch of those. Burns. Lose Super Duty 300. Is that the one that got discontinued that everybody like clamors over? Mike, I thought the same thing. Because, like I said, I've been an avid Corrado user since the tank Corrado, the 200, and I never owned a Scorpion. And I always heard that they were just uh, finely tuned Corrados. Obviously, they are. They're the same everything frame. They're just different color. But I had E7s by the truckloads. I had like 20 of those damn things. And I found some scorpions on eBay. And I picked up a couple scorpions. And I will say, I could tell that they were a more refined reel. Felt like a Corrado, just a very refined one. They were smoother. They just felt different. Uh, and they were used, like they hadn't been, it wasn't like out of the box, but it seemed like the tolerances and the gears and stuff were like a little tighter. And it was just it was just a different experience. I liked them. I like the I will drink the Scorpion Kool Aid. I don't know if it's worth however much money it cost back in the day to like get a Scorpion over here, but now it's probably not as bad. Um, but back in those days, it was kind of a big deal. I have 7 Scorpions and like them a lot. Yeah, they're nice reels. Where's Travis Stearman? He wanted to get rid of his E's. He's been making a deal. Which model Scorpions do you have, Brian? The newest? Which which generation Corrado is equal to your Scorpions? I think Shimano used to have an orange reel, or was like coppery looking, and it had a little bar on the front of it, but it was like a lower level entry level reel. It was like the Cruxus or something. It was like the Spyrex of bait casters. But if I remember correctly, it was like a copper color. AJ's got it. How do you say that? Cowus? Caius? 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 Cowus? How are they holding up, AJ? You must have had those damn things for 20 years. Called it the Orange Shimano. Caius. Caius. Dude, what do you do? What do you do when you're the boater and your co-angler comes walking down the dock with 3 orange caiuses? AJ, that's probably why you caught so much shit off the back of the boat over the years. You rolled up with those and they said, "Oh, look at this clown. Look at this clown." Said, did you leave your Spyrex in the truck, bro? Actually, asshole, I did. Let me run get it. Just spike your ass on it with my shaky head. Used them for braid reels. They exploded. You threw them in the trash. Grabbed another one. Dude, are those proficiency rods and reels? Are those the ones that like have all the shit all over them? Oh, my first Shimano bait cast from 1986. 3-1, no cast control. Wow. All right, I'm done. I can go home now. Those ones that are the freaking ugliest rods reels on the face of the earth. Yeah, those. You know the ones I'm talking about with all the like graphics and shit on them. You know what the funny thing about those rods and reels are? To the non-casual angler, to the serious angler, they look very hokey. But it is my belief that they sell the shit out of those rods. Like everybody that's like sub 18 thinks those are like the dopest rods in the store. Like they see them and they're like, I gotta have that. That's what I want. Travis Stearman likes them. That's what he throws his Vixens on. He's not here to defend himself, so I can flame him. Hopefully, he rewatches this and hears this and sends me a dirty message. Pinnacle 5-1. I remember the old Pinnacles, Bob. My buddies used to buy them as disposable reels. They called them pinnacles. But they would buy like 10 of them, 10 pinnacles, and then they would just use them till they broke and throw them in the trash and just go get a new one. Then once pinnacle was gone, they went and got the H2O Express reels, which were basically pinnacles or pinnacles, whichever you prefer. Um, These new Osprey baits that are blatant cover 316 rising sun. Those rod reels appeal to the Piz group. Kind of. It's kind of got that same vibe. All right. We have eyes. We have a little minty green eye on those. They look white, but they have a very small touch of green in them. Where am I at? All the fishing influencers on Insta love them because they give out sponsorships like hotcakes, and the people are just happy to get free shit. My buddy's dad still uses the pinnacles. I think he cleans greases in that. Bob, I've never heard of one surviving long enough to get cleansed and degreased or regreased. John, they don't glow in the dark, unfortunately. I could have made them glow in the dark, but I didn't glow in the dark them. I didn't do that. Pinnacle. Oh, you know what's a good rod? I wouldn't say it's a good rod, but I use one. I use it for saltwater fishing, like for speckled trout and redfish. Um, it's the Academy H2O uh, green rod. It's the cheapest rod they sell. It's like, I think it's like $12.99 for a $12.99 rod. It's not terrible. The guy loves him. Tried to convert him to a real reel, and he wasn't happening. Well, that's unfortunate. Maybe for Christmas you get him like a Fluger President from like 2004 off eBay. Yeah, Academy does have some sneaky good stuff on the shelves. They do. Used an ugly stick for redfish. Yeah, my dad's got a an ugly stick uh, spinning rod that he trout fishes with. I really like the thing. It's pretty nice. I don't know what model it is, but it's like the fancy one that's like 50, $60. Nice rod. The problem with the $15 Academy rods is the reel seats are shitty. So your reel might fall off, might not, might be loosey goosey, might be tight. You never know. But the blank itself, if you took the blank and you took the shitty reel seat off and you put a nice reel seat on it and nice guides, you'd probably think it was a decent rod. Because I used it I used it to throw um, braid with a like a redfish spinner bait, and I caught some damn hammer redfish on it for like a couple years now. And I mean, it's probably got 34 to 8 pound redfish under its belt on braid, spinner baiting in the weeds. I mean, that's putting a fair amount of pressure on a rod, and it's still there. Uh, when people say pasta water should be as salty as the sea, I have no idea what they mean. Sincerely, a Nebraskan. That is true. That is true. Used an ugly stick, you would have a you would have a Shimano core stuck to an ugly stick, a Metanium on an ugly stick. Were you that guy, Bob? It's okay if you were. I was kind of that guy. Facebook dating. There you go, Brendan. Check it out. Hell, dude, that's what's so stupid is like on my Facebook, like my relationship status is married, and there's like pictures of me and my wife, and like she tags me and stuff. So the algorithm should know that I do things with this woman that my profile reflects in my relationship status that says I am married to this person, and then I'm tagged in a bunch of pictures with this person for years and years and years. So that should tell them that I'm indeed married. But hell, when they first came out with the dating thing, I get blasted with that thing all the time. Salt your steak like a sidewalk. I've never heard that. What does that mean? Make it look like a sidewalk with the copious amounts of salt? A Mojo. Does the Mojo have the grippy, that like wind synthetic grip type stuff? Oh, yeah, I wouldn't understand that, AJ. Last red I caught Burns. You need to catch a redfish, dude. We got to get you out of Arkansas, bro. We got to get you out of the Arkansas. Get you a pinnacle reel. Drive through Tupelo, Mississippi. Come on down to the coast. Brian says if he salted his steaks like he salts his sidewalk, it would be inedible because he would be eating salt, no steak. All right, dudes. Me too, Brendan. See y'all later. Good talking to y'all. We'll talk tomorrow. Split record. Ooh, fancy. Still can't sell on this thing while maybe I should go back to the other stick. I think you have. Yeah, I think you need to ask young Bob what was your favorite rod, and you do know the answer now. It was the ugly stick. It was your first true love. Go back. See y'all.